let me begin by introducing Walter. Walter Schindler is the managing partner of SAIL Ventures. It's a private equity firm, and he has been in this industry for a long time. Perhaps the most notable thing is the fact that they have the leaders in clean tech, and they've got offices in California, New York, Boston, DC, and they have a global perspective on this topic, and they've been making investments in the arena. And so what I'd like you to do is ask him directly. We are hoping that the speech will break up into about 30 minutes of talking, 10 minutes of Q&A. Ask him questions, ask him a lot of questions about this topic, and see what we can learn from it. So with that, Walter Schindler, managing partner at SAIL Ventures.
While they're loading the presentation, I want to start by saying thank you to a number of people in the audience. First of all, I want to thank a group of investors who are in the Boston area, led by Sandy Tennant over here, who's of course walking away. This is Sandy Tennant, Dick Sicaro in the back, and then our own Boston office in the form of Isaiah Kozovensky. You may remember Isaiah as a Harvard football star and went on to become captain of the Seattle Seahawks. And we're really proud to have a great association with Isaiah. I'm glad that he could be here. I want to thank the leadership of the Hult School for inviting me to be here. And last but not least, I want to thank all the students who were here last night and who have the stamina and persistence to show up for a second night of punishment. So thank you all. And I guess we're about to see what my presentation looks like. While we're waiting, let me just mention that this is the very first time that I will give this presentation. For the last year, I have been giving a presentation that I know by heart so well that I wouldn't even have to look at the slides to be able to tell you the order and each statement in it. However, this particular presentation, Profit from Sustainable Innovation, this is the first time I'll be delivering this, so I apologize in advance. I may have to look at the slides to know which order they're in. So Arnold Toynbee, the great British historian, said that great civilizations over history rise in response to a challenge that is almost so great that it threatens the survival of the civilization. But the people rise to the occasion and are creative and innovate. And I suggest to you that the threat of global warming now, for the first time, threatens the entire planet. And as a result of that threat, my hope is that the world, for the first time, as one world, will rise in response to this challenge and innovate. And the innovation that's required has to come from government, it has to come from corporations, large and small, but also there's a role for venture capital and private equity. And oftentimes people want to oversimplify and say it's going to come from here, it's going to come from there. I think it comes from a multitude of sources. So I represent the small parochial interest of those who seek to profit from sustainable innovation. This is a big year. This is a great year for profiting from sustainable innovation. I started the firm a long time ago, so long ago I hate to think about it, because when I started nobody had really any idea that this was even an area in which one could profit. So I was turned away by almost every major house on Wall Street and every major investor in the United States, because back in 2001, sustainable or clean tech innovation was not seen as a proper subject for investment. Oh, how times have changed. Now, my greatest advocate is the President of the United States. And we have every single investment we've made in our second fund has been earmarked for the Obama administration money. So when people ask me, how do you feel about the administration, I say, I'm as excited as the Obama girl. So we live in a time when I've had my sailboat out there, the sails have been up, and now the wind is finally really blowing. And so we have a lot of things that have also helped us in a number of ways, which is the global financial crisis has finally taken down all of the claims, the false claims put forward by, over the years, that the public markets are really the safe place to be. Venture capital, clean tech, this is all very risky stuff. Now, as everyone has watched their portfolios dwindle in the public markets, people have realized there's really no safe place to be except to be investing in the future. And that's what we do. We invest in the future of green innovation. So, what are the opportunities? Well, the way we look at it, initially, sustainable investment arose out of a courageous sense of moral duty, first advocated by the Prime Minister of Norway in the 80s. And it quickly took hold in Europe as part of the culture that corporations saw it as their duty to look at the sustainability of their practices. Now, a number of things have come together to make this an area of unusual profit. And that is because there are inefficiencies in various global markets for intellectual property. So outstanding intellectual property can be invested in various countries in the world at a much more favorable valuation, and those companies can be grown in other markets where the valuations are higher. So climate change has become an opportunity for the rapid adoption of new technologies to deal with the threats of climate change. And in addition, there's a need to rapidly propagate existing technologies. Much of the solution, as we'll see, does come from existing technologies which need to be implemented at a much faster rate. So we look at the global sustainability challenge as being in three areas. The primary area, the one we read about every day, is energy demand. But we think equally potent problems arise in the key areas of water, scarcity, and overall green development. We'll talk more about what those mean. The opportunities are in technology innovation, the growth potential, and what we see as remarkable profit potential because of the fact that both the macro factors are favorable and individual companies are now emerging with great leadership and great technology.